Magandang araw mga kabayan. Nagbabalik po muli ang inyong lingkod upang magbigay sa inyo ng mga bago at nagbabagang mga balita. Tila ba naging usap-usapin sa ating Senado at sa ating bansa dahil ang confidential funds na tila ba ipinapaalis ni Coco Pimentel ay ibinalik sa Senado. VP Inday Sara na nagsabi na hindi kukuha ng confidential funds ay tila ba sinuportahan pa rin ng Senado. Alam ng Senado kung gaano kaimportante ang edukasyon at kung gaano kahalaga ang mga kabataan dahil alam din ni Senator VP Inday Sara na sila ang kinabukasan ng ating bansa. Para sa buong detalye, panoorin ang buong video at kung bago ka pa lamang sa aking channel, huwag kakalimutang mag-subscribe, pindutin ang notification bell at piliin ang all upang laging maging updated sa mga bago at nagbabagang mga balita. Ang usap-usapin nga ito ay naging usap-usapan din sa social media. Sabi ng isang netizen, "Yes, I agree. Our VP Sara is so brilliant, intelligent, humble, and simple, but truly working hard for the benefits of our children. Parents and the people, we love you, Madam VP SDC. God bless po." At sabi din naman ng isa, "Salamat, Pia Cayetajo. Para sa matatag na bayan at para sa matag na kabataan ng bansa, dapat lakihan ng budget sa additional teachers dahil kulang ang teachers and training sa mga teachers. Equip the laboratories of science and other subject areas to cope up the needs of our societies." Sabi naman ng isa, "Yes na yes. Yeah ba? Agree with you, Mel. Our VP is so brilliant. How can we not make her president when she easily addresses her issues? Bullseye."
Study this to give an accurate response. Mr. President, let me start with 2023 and then I'll go to 2024. No? So for 2023, the amount of 2.725 billion was in the GAA, and this is meant to hire 9,650 new teaching positions. As to the question of His Honor, so as of now, how many have been hired? 3,352 have been hired. And as to why only, I am already anticipating the next question. Yes. As to why only 3,352 have been hired,
yes.
This is because the NOSCA, the Notice of Staffing, was only released in July. So they are ongoing as the hiring process is ongoing as we speak, and Deped assures us that they will be able to fill roughly 96% because that is their average. That is their annual average. Every year, that is their average in filling the unfilled positions, Your Honor. And then to move forward for 2024, what is in the GAA and the committee report, tama? Is 5.6 billion to fill 20,000 new teaching positions, Your Honor. Okay. And I already asked the question, again, are you confident? Because you have not filled 6,000 plus, but they are very confident, Your Honor, especially because they now have a civil service, what do you call it, an order? Bronze, which allows Deped to basically fast-track the hiring. We can submit that.
Yeah,
because,
what is that civil service
okay,
thing?
Yes.
And then this NOSCA problem will not be repeated next year?
NOSCA problem.
Yeah. Yan ang NOSCA is being used as the excuse.
Kasi parang excuse nga yan daw si NOSCA eh.
We will make representation to the regional DBM counterpart.
Earlier. Yeah. Okay, Deped says they will make representations earlier, and I also, as we speak, Your Honor, I am also expressing I agree with that you need to coordinate with them earlier because we were told during this deliberations on the budget that many times DBM would tell us, not Deped specifically, but tell me in general that they do not receive the requests early enough. So that serves as a reminder, Your Honor.
So the facts that we're getting are as follows. As of the moment, November 9, 2023, DepEd has hired 3,352 new teachers out of the committed 9,650 during the budget deliberations last year.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you claim that we will be able to comply with your commitment up to 90% by December.
96% is their
by December
average.
31, 2023. Is that the claim of DepEd?
By December. By the end of the school year, Your Honor.
Okay.
Mr. President.
So that would
Yeah.
be, ano na bang school year natin ngayon? What's
June?
the end of our
June?
school year?
July, Your Honor.
July of 23. Okay, so I get it. Okay. That I now see where the confidence is based, Mr. President. Okay. So ganun din yung hiring of 20,000 teachers, ganun din yung cycle pala nun. It's July, it would be July 2023 to July 2024. That's our cycle. Okay.
So this December, you'll be, yeah. So as early as December, they are already recruiting for the following year, Your Honor.
Thank you. So will this be a record number of hires if we are able to fulfill it, 20,000? Is that the record number of hires for one school year by the DepEd?
Tuwing 20,000 daw, record ba yan? O?
No, the highest was in 20.
Ba't din natin gawin yun? Yung highest, kaya pala nila eh. Kami, ambition
That's not the record, Your Honor.
What's the record, ma'am?
Ano yung reason? The record, Your Honor, is when the senior high was implemented. Kasi nga, may mass hiring talaga. May reason pala talaga.
Sige, okay yun.
Yes.
But now that the K-12 is now stable na, it's in place. Will this be one of the highest number of new teaching hires?
Alin dyan? Around 10. Do you know why bigla kayo nag-20?
Hindi, ang laki ng gap. 6 lang ambisyon nila ngayon, but next at 20,000 times. Okay, we wish them all the best.
Okay. Which is just implemented this year?
Oo.
Less na. Less na. Less na. Tara, sila ma'am.
Mr. President, did you have a pending question? I'm not sure now.
Yes, yung hindi yung during
if magiging normal.
during an abnormal time or
Oo.
you are starting
so,
a program.
So
but now,
they see that the number of 10,000 is about the norm?
Okay.
Yes.
So, and then, kaya nga, in the budget for next year, the commitment of the DepEd is you are going to hire 20,000.
Yes.
Klaro yun, 20,000. Sige, so, we wish you all the best kasi kailangan 80, sabi nyo, 89,500 ng natin, shortage natin eh. We have to, and ibig sabihin ng shortage, itong mga shortages of classroom and teachers, based on a certain, theory or parameter that what is the ideal. So can we get that ideal? Kasi that affects siguro also that affects the performance of our students. So what's our what does the DepEd follow? What do they believe in? What is the ideal classroom to student ratio? 1:1 is to
30 is the ideal.
Okay.
Of course, we follow range of class size.
Okay.
Na for different case stages,
alam mo, established na ito sa committee hearing. Check mo kung yung sagot nila tama sa sinasabi namin nila sa committee hearing.
So, but where are we? Are we following this? I'll give him, the next question is going to be,
35 yung sagot nila kanina.
I'll say each, tell me what the reality is, okay?
Ano yun? So ano na yung sagot? Ano yung actual?
Okay. Okay, Mr. President, the response to that depends on the age of the student. So for kindergarten, 25 learners or maximum of 30 learners per session, and one teacher for 2 sessions.
Okay na to, I'll just read it as isa.
that's a parameter.
And then for the multi-grade classes, maximum of 25 learners consisting of 2 consecutive grades, grade 1 and 2, grade 3 and 4, grade 5 and 6, 1 teacher per class consisting of 2 consecutive grade levels, or 3 teachers for every grade, for every multi-grade school. Grade 1 to 3, 30 learners per class, maximum of 30 learners, 1 teacher per class. Grade 4, 40 learners per class, maximum of 45 learners, 1 teacher per class. Grade 5 to 10, 40 learners per class, maximum of 45, 5 teachers in every 3 class, or 5.3 as specialization factor. Grade 11 to 12, maximum of 40 learners per class, 9 teachers in every 6 classes, or 9.6 as specialization factor. Special needs education, maximum of 15 learners, 1 teacher for 15 learners. Alternative learning system, minimum of 75 learners, 1 teacher for 75 learners.
Okay, so umabot pala sa 1:75 pagdating sa alternative learning. But alternative learning is a non-classroom setting.
Sorry, what's the question?
Alternative learning is not in a classroom setting.
Non-classroom setting,
so
yes.
I will not use that 1:75 kasi it's a class. It's the class, but not the classroom. No?
It's a class, not the
It's a class,
classroom. Correct, correct.
Yes. So, okay, as far as the classroom is concerned, Deped has the minimum specs for a classroom. Minimum, the minimum specifications for a classroom. Kasi ang smallest natin na ratio is 1:25 eh. Yan ang narinig ko sa explanation po ng ating
7 by 9 meters would be the specifications for a small classroom.
Yes. Yan na yun. Yan na yun, the smallest that the Deped can approve as a classroom, to be used as a classroom.
Yes.
Smaller than that, ano na yan,
Reject.
detrimental na to the, either to the health and as well as to the, not conducive to the learning of the students and also to the teaching efficiency of the teacher. Tama? Meron lang pong sa lunch break natin, kagagaling lang ng isang teacher sa opisina ko, yun ang reklamo niya actually. Very cramped yung classroom niya. Quezon City ito.
Yeah. Well,
Ginagawa ba natin na yung isang classroom na in accordance with specs ay dinivide po natin in such a way na yung resulting area to be used as classroom, lagay ko ng quotation mark, would be less than our minimum specs?
because they'll split it.
Yan ang problema nila.
Yeah, sadly, Mr. President, there are what they call coping strategies where, let's say, a bigger classroom would be split, and then that split would be smaller.
The split is below the minimum specification.
Yes.
And in-establish natin kanina, minimum specifications, masama na sa either sa health, hindi na conducive sa learning.
Yes, yes.
So in effect, ang theory doon, the entire time spent in that classroom is wasted, actually.
Maybe not wasted,
Yeah, but let's
not
say the bulk-
not maximized.
The bulk
and
of the time is
possibly
Why did we allow
inefficient.
this?
Well, I guess the alternative is to close it, and where will they study? A lot
And
of
isn't the alternative, guys, precisely to bring back into circulation those classrooms in disrepair or build new classrooms? So,
Of course, Your
Diba?
Honor.
kasi baliwala lahat yung mga may
Yes.
minimum specs tayo for
Yes, of course,
learning.
of course, Your
We
Honor.
we augment national learning recovery, and yet
But in some areas, Your Honor, the problem is buildable space. So if I may even add, my personal advocacy is outdoor space, and hindi na yun talaga makakomply sa mga urban areas.
ang reklamo ng teacher, hindi na daw sila maka-group work. Di ba? May mga ganyan ba? May mga group work ba? Wala na daw. Parang wala nang movement, wala nang elbow room to move. Anyway, I'm just giving you that feedback. At
Yes, yes,
during the
they-
lunch break, ako po yung
They appreciate it, Your
nakausap
Honor.
ko. So malaki ang problema because even if we have money pala, there is no buildable space. So what is now yung solution ng ating Deped sa mga ganyang situation?
Yeah. Mr. President, they're introducing mid-rise classroom. Which
Demolish existing. Kasi lack of buildable space lang sa ang ating inaano eh. So we demolish the existing?
if there's buildable space, dun pa lang sa space na yon, multiple,
Okay,
multi-storage,
Okay, no problem dun sa
multi-level na.
with buildable space kasi nga sabi ko nga.
Well, I
let's build.
guess eventually they will demolish that, but it's not a priority if it's a good classroom. So
Okay, so hirap talaga. Actually, tama. That's why mahirap po talaga maging Secretary of Education at saka itong Department of Education.
mahirap po, naiiyak na nga sila.
Mahirap po,
They
mahirap.
appreciate your pain, that you share their
We-
pain, Your Honor.
Yeah, we are here to help actually, Mr. President. Okay.
Yes, they know that. Thank you.
When we looked at the budget of the Deped, there is this amount 146 billion pesos to be released by the central office. Ano po ito?
Ano yan? Ano yan? Sorry, Your Honor, what is the question? What is the 146 billion?
Kasi ganito pa sa Deped OSEC, there is a budget of 566 billion which will be released to the field offices. But 146 billion will be left with the central office.
Ano yun?
What is this amount for and how is it to be accessed by the stakeholders or beneficiaries, Mr. President?
146. Ito I have.
Tama po ba? Hindi, tama po ba yung figures ko?
Yeah.
Tama ba to?
Mr. President, 146 billion will be utilized through procurement of central management programs, activities, and project. These funds may also be downloaded further to the field operation units for implementation. Ito ba yun? Kasama to?
Okay, that's as to control of the funds, no? Pero what is that 146 billion for?
So, these programs, Your Honor, are government assistance and subsidies, school furniture, computerization program, textbook and learning tools and equipment, school-based feeding, basic education curriculum, general management, and supervision.
It's good that the sponsor mentioned the textbook budget because I noticed that it increased 12-fold,
Yes.
Mr. President. From, round off na lang natin, 1 billion, na for next year it's going to be 12 billion. Historically, what has been the level of the budget
Ay,
for the
malayo.
reproduction of materials like textbook?
Malayo po doon, like His Honor said, mga 10, more than 1 billion. 1 billion lang po yung sa textbook. But just to, during the hearings, it was explained na, upon review, there's really a need to have new textbooks with the revised, enhanced curriculum, so they really have to invest in textbooks.
So the 1
And
billion...
1:1 also, Mr. President, kasi dati, ilan ba yun? 3:1 ba yun? Ngayon, 1:1 na ang target, Your Honor, Mr. President.
So are we reprinting existing textbooks or new textbooks pursuant to the matatag curriculum?
Mr. President, they are procuring new textbooks.
Yes, and then what will happen to the old textbooks, Mr. President? Totally useless na ba yung mga yon?
They can still be used as supplementary material, reading resources, Mr. President.
So the textbooks that we will be printing will now be reflective of the new curriculum?
Yes, Your Honor, Mr. President.
What was the process followed in adopting this new curriculum, Mr. President? Ang alam ko yung law, there is a curriculum committee ba? And then, what is it? Then, it reviewed the curriculum, came up with changes, and then?
How did you go about it? Okay. 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 So dinatnan nyo na yan and then more consultations. Okay. Okay. Mr. President, in 2019, a major review of the curriculum was initiated, and this was finished already during the term of the Vice President, Secretary of Education. And what they did is they used these recommendations. They conducted more consultations and reviewed it, and until they came with the final draft papers and curriculum guidelines. So I can present to His Honor the flow chart, but that's it basically in a nutshell.
Okay, and basically, what are the improvements under this new? Is this the curriculum called Matatag curriculum? Ito ba yung
Yes, Your
Matatag
Honor.
curriculum? Yes. What would be the? Lagyan na natin sa quotation marks, improvements under the Matatag curriculum.
Yeah, I have it. But what is 11,000 what? Learning items? What do I call this? Competency. So basically, the Matatag curriculum has the following feature. It decongested the curriculum, reducing from 11,738 competencies to 3,664, focus on foundational skills, balanced cognitive demands, clearer articulation of 21st century skills, reduced learning areas, intensified value education, strengthened peace education, and on par with international standards, Your Honor, Mr. President.
So has the Matatag curriculum been implemented, and since when, and as well as the scope? In all schools?
Yes, Mr. President, we are in the piloting
Pilot pa lang.
stage. We have 7 regions participating, with 5 schools per region and a total of 35 schools and a total of 385 teachers and a total of 8,294 students.
Yung 12 billion in for textbook printing. Kasi we budget by calendar year pero sila the Deped as a school year cycle. If that's approved and given to the Deped and released in January, 12 billion, will you start printing new books pursuant to Matatag? And then distribute them in the middle of the school year, or
Mr.
at the
President,
start
it's
of the new
targeted
school?
for the new school year.
For the new school year. Okay, pagdating sa new school year 2024-2025, what would be the status of the Matatag curriculum? Pilot pa rin?
Yes, Mr. President, it's a nationwide phase-based implementation. So that means they roll it out by phases, and the first phase is grade 1, grade 4, grade 7, Your Honor, Mr. President.
Last na to. So meaning to say,
So pati yung textbook.
pati yung textbook pala, this is a multi-year
Yes, Mr.
plan.
President.
That sample lang ito, 12 billion, and then the following year, another what, 12 billion again?
More or less, Mr. President, because that 12 billion is for grade 1, 4, and 7, which is the first phase being rolled out.
So we are already, so we have already decided that the rollout, the full rollout, although in phases, of the Matatag curriculum will happen in the school year 2024-2025. So
Piloting to just tweak it.
what is why are we pilot testing it kung decided na
Yeah.
pala tayo na pasado
Yeah,
na siya?
because Mr. President, it's clear that there has to be a change. It's clear that there has to be improvement. So what the piloting program will do is to give feedback so that it can be improved before it's fully rolled out, Your Honor.
Thank you for that, Mr. President. I appreciate the response and I get the point, Mr. President.
Okay.
So, ano pa tanong mo? In the reporting, ito lang po, just a suggestion. In the reporting of the non-tax revenues of Deped, I've noticed na the bulk of your income fall under miscellaneous income, 225 million, and all of the others, inspection fees, rent, registration. There must be a way now to disaggregate yung miscellaneous income kasi miscellaneous na si number one. Paano naging... That's on the reporting side. Kaya kami na
Yeah.
nag-aaral ng inyong mga reports, parang it lacks information. I mean, it does not reveal the information. Imagine.
Yes. Noted, Mr. President. We'll see if they can give us a more detailed within this budget season. But if not, definitely for the next budget, it's better breakdown. Thank you, Mr. President.
And then, of course, yung reminder na lang po sa ating procurement, because sayang yung record nung ating past education secretary na dali pa ng isang laptop. Will the Deped still allow that a construction company will provide laptops for Deped?
No, Mr. President.
We should learn from the past bitter, painful experiences. Did heads roll in the Department of Education because of that 2.4 billion peso laptop deal?
Di ba may statement kayo na they all left? But I mean, the cases are...
Mr. President, the persons accused of involvement are no longer with DepEd and the cases are pending now.
Alam ko naman ang reputation ng ating secretary. Ini-interview ko sila, Senator Bato. Strict ang ating secretary, and I'm sure pagdating sa laptop provision, no business na siguro ang construction company dyan, Mr. President. Ang layo na sa primary purpose of the business. That should have actually raised.
Sa napanood niyong video, mga kabayan, ano naman po ang inyong mga opinyon? Ang ating comment section ay bukas para sa inyong mga komento at reaksyon. Huwag kakalimutan, do not let your thoughts left unspoken. As citizen of this country, your opinions matter. Huwag pong mahihiyang magbigay ng inyong saloobin, mga kabayan. At syempre, huwag niyo din pong kakalimutan i-share ang video ito upang ang inyong mga kasama at kakilala ay maging aware din sa kung anong nangyayari sa ating bansa. Huwag din kakalimutang mag-iwan ng like. Hanggang sa muli!